Right on. Front row wants to grow. Back row doesn't know. You didn't know I had rhyming skills. I just made that. I had the first line. I didn't have the second line, but it just popped in. Just came up. Do you guys have pens? No? You have pens with you? You do? Okay, good. Good. 100. They're not going to everybody. I'll keep them. I'll keep a handful. Oh, no, not those. Where's the other one? Yes, please. Where's the other ones? Okay, so I need a couple.
Yeah, let's go, Brandon.
All right.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm not going to hand those out. I'll just keep those. I'm just going to keep a couple, and then you can hand them out when they. Mike.
Yeah.
Can I have one? Yay, we have women. Makes me happy. At least the organization and the brains and the looks, something like that. I'm just kidding. So all those things just align with pay, we're good to go. Huh? I said if all those things aligned with pay, we're good to go. I do that. Okay, so how about this one? Front row wants to grow. Back row doesn't know. Middle row. Come on, help. No rappers in the room? Middle row something? What is it? You will today, though, huh? Who told you to sit up front? Good job. It's always the young ones. They got to drag you into the... I need to stop. This is not Comedy Central. I have to get them out before I start talking. They'll get in trouble later. Ding, 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 ding. What'd you say? I always want to work it. Sometimes I'll sit out there. I'm like, can I get the xylophone? And they're like, no. I could at least improve the quality of the tune. All right, you guys, let's roll. You good? It's time. I don't want to push it. We got to get in every minute. I'm only going to get through like 40% of my slides anyway. Everybody ready? People will wander in. That's good. Well, while we have a couple seconds, tell me where you guys are from. City, state. Arkansas. Fantastic. Florida. All right. Houston. Hot. Longest travel. It took you longer to get here than it took me to fly here. For real. What about you? Orlando, Florida. Everybody with a tan. Dallas, Texas. Fantastic. What else we got? Kissimmee, Florida. All right, we got a lot of Florida, a little bit of Arkansas. Can you see in the house? Where are you guys from? Louisiana. All right. They're always loud. Every time. Arkansas, fantastic. All right, you guys, you ready to rock and roll? Fantastic. I'm Jennifer Bagley. I'm the CEO of CI Web. I did not turn it on. I need monitored. There's all these gadgets when you live in a technology world. Microphones and videos. So if you look back, you're on camera. You guys keep your cell phones out if you want to take pictures. Feel free. I don't mind. Get this good side. Not when I'm like, just get these crazy pictures. Mainly the screen. So we are recording it. So you guys have a half sheet of paper in front of you. If you fill that out, we'll make sure you get a copy of this because I tend to talk a little bit fast. It works for some of the country, and some of the country is their heads like this. And you guys are like 6 hours away from happy hour. So that being said, if you guys fill those out, you need to, there's a bunch of other reasons why you should, and I'll come to those later, but that'll make sure you at least get a copy of the session from today and the other ones because I can't seem to present the same session twice. So that being said, I'm Jennifer Bagley. I'm the CEO of CI Web Group. We're a digital marketing agency and the preferred digital marketing agency for Goodman and have been for many years. And our philosophy is really around these four things. One is, do you have the right technology? Are you leveraging technology to convert time to cash? Two is, everything has to have a strategy. There has to be strategic thinking behind everything that we do, and then feeling accompanies that, right? Next is network. Are you surrounded by the right people? Are you getting the right information from the right sources? Anybody ask a broke uncle about money? Or a divorced family member about relationships? Or a one-person shop about how to market your business? Okay, you know where I'm headed. And then same thing with your clients. That's also your network. Who are you targeting? How are you targeting? What do you know about them? What's their mindset? And what are their personality styles? And finally, how you think. I can take two dealers, same rooms, same services, same products, same corner, same price, same marketing budget, same results. One is happy and ready to go to the next level and ready to roll. The other one is just rawr, irritated. There's only one difference. A lot of this is how we think. You guys, we come to these sessions and we have our mind filled with our own belief systems right out of the gate. So my challenge to you is try and empty your glass for just a minute. There's a lot of information you have in your head from past experiences, from influencers, from stories you've heard, okay, from experiences you've had, that is going to cloud some judgment. So I want you guys to be fresh and open to learn something new because this is really important for your business. Fair? Fantastic. And it doesn't stop here. We do webinars every month. Anybody attended the webinars I do for Goodman and Mana? Yes, fantastic. And what are your thoughts? You learn anything?
Yes, I have.
Have you attended more than one?
Actually, yes.
Did it start to meld together and make more sense after you attended more than one?
Yeah.
Okay. So
That's several dealers as well.
I actually had a dealer sit at lunch with me, and he said, you know what, Jen, I bought myself a smart TV. I don't even believe in them because the CIA is all over those things. However, I wanted to watch webinars. The funny thing is I didn't think you were real. It's so cool to see you in person. And I gave him this huge hug, and he was like, I'm just kidding. I watch him all the time, but it was really cool. He said he set one up in his shop. So this today, you guys, I'm going to cover a lot of information in a really short amount of time. There are moments when it might feel like a fire hose, and that's okay. Just breathe into it, relax, sit back. And know that the more of those webinars you attend, it's like having 100 circles all over this board, and everything's going to start touching and connecting and starting to make sense over time. There's no way I can get through everything in one shot, though. We're talking about technology and the internet. It's rather large. Fair?
Yeah.
All right. I have Mr. Michael Hicklin, my partner and Chief Operating Officer, in the back. He's filming today. And he and I, this is what we do. We travel, I think, how many times have we been home?
Twice.
So we get to sleep in our own bed for one night on the 8th. Isn't that cool? And then we're out again. So this is what we do. When you guys are not busy, we're busy because we're doing dealer meetings, education, meeting with clients, doing on-site strategy sessions, really trying to help them build a plan to grow their business. We have a team of over 110 people around the world, everywhere from Seattle, Washington to Houston, Texas, Lake Jackson, Texas, Dallas, Texas, Buffalo, New York, Chicago. We have a big team in the United States, and we also have a team overseas. We run in Bali, Greece, Nepal, and Pune. We run 6 days a week, 3 to 4 shifts per day. So our morning meeting can be at 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., or 11 p.m., depending on where you are that day. Everyone's different, you guys. They're all subject matter experts in their own right. I have designers, developers, coders, engineers, content writers, social media experts. They all think they're right and most important. Okay? That's a tough part for you guys. If you listen to any one of them individually, you probably go, yeah, I need to do that. Even worse is if you sit down in front of a salesperson who's been taught a bucket of products, wears and tears, and the magic blue pill that's going to make your phone ring off the hook, and the magic blue pill doesn't exist. The reality is that in order for you guys to get through this process and to choose vendors, they got to know how to run a business. They have to understand operations, logistics, cost, your seasons. You guys have an odd business. Technically, you have more than one. You have 2 different companies at least, possibly 4, depending where you're located. Florida, you're 2. Majority of the time, you got 60% of the time, you're 1, right? But depending on where you are, you guys run different companies. And during that different season, which can be affected by God and the weather, you have a different product, a different consumer base, a different need. It's a different business model. Different phrases, sometimes different locations. They have different products, different services, different call to actions. It changes. We have to know that going into it. You guys got to have somebody that understands HVAC. Okay, very, very, very important. So today we're going to cover 2 elements as much as we can get through in this time. One is the framework. That's your website. The second one is the engine. That's what you do with your site. A website by itself is not going to bring you new clients. It may, if done properly, help you close more of those hard-earned referrals that you guys have. Or if you're networking or getting referrals from other vendors or colleagues, or you attend a B&I group, or you have existing customers that are referring you business, it'll help you close more of those. But independently, if anybody says they're going to pop up a website, especially if it's from a triple F or $10, it's not going to generate you new business. And I'll show you why. It's just math, and it makes it a lot easier. Anyone want to guess what the triple Fs are? Somebody that would build your website, you should not have do that. That would be considered perfect. Say it out loud. Friend, perfect. Let's keep going. Family, perfect. Free, I'll take it. Fools, felons, we make up the last one. Okay? So, let's get on the same page with this. Right now, take off your business owner hat, take off your marketer hat, take off your technician hat. How many of you are moms? No, I love it. It just changes your everything. Daddies, husbands, keep smiling. Wives, keep smiling. Okay. Homeowners. So your life, just go home for a minute. When you need something, what do? If you need a contractor, you need a pool person, you need somebody to fix a fence, do some electrical work, and I know some of you are handy, so don't say do it yourself. You want to find a restaurant, you want to find a store, you want to look at a particular product, you want to buy a set of new pots and pans, what do? You Google it. Fantastic. Anyone else? How many of you, your first option is Google it? Raise your hand, look around. Awesome. Anyone have anything else other than that? Facebook. And on Facebook, what do? You ask for a perfect. And once you get it, how many of you ask for referrals now on Facebook? Awesome. Isn't it easier when they can tag the company because they fanned it? Yes. Come on in. You're late, but it's cool. Come on. You pick. Blue. Are you guys blue? Oh, you're orange. Sorry. You can come in, but. All right. So, where was I? Oh, purchases. So You get a referral. Say your mom refers you to a particular product, service, company, something. What do you do next? Ooh. How many of you are going to Google them before you make the call? For a referral, raise your hand and look around. Oh, I wish all the camera needs to see that. So I've been asking these questions for 10 years, and the numbers are changing. It's awesome. I remember doing a speaking event. I was in, see here, Ulysses S. Grant's house is there. Arkansas, Minnesota, Mississippi. I don't know where I was, but I remember standing up in front of the room and I asked how many of them. I said this, how many of you in the last 12 months, forget about the internet, forget about referral, in the last 12 months, how many of you have made a purchase because of television, radio, newspaper, flyers, door hangers, TV, commercial? Anyone, raise your hand. I'm actually asking you. What was?
They made a purchase.
Made a purchase, but you're not an existing client. So if you shop at Nordstrom and they send you the catalog, that doesn't count. Just put it right there. Anyone? Okay, so like 7 years ago, I stood up, and it was the first time I had spoken the Central States, and the whole room raised their hand. I was like, I went to all the paper and advertising, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go now. All right, so that's changed. It doesn't matter where I am. It used to be different. It used to be that the outskirts, that it would tend to move faster there, and then the closer I went to the center, it kind of, things took on a little slower. Not anymore. Here's the bottom line. People do business two ways. 1, they Google it. 2, they get a referral. 3, they Google it. And whatever shows up, they either make the call or don't. People are moved very, very quickly by what they see online, and it only takes a second. The likelihood of them getting to your website means you need to pass your company name with the word reviews test. Yes. What does it look like? I call it bling. How much do you have? This is the one time where bling really matters. It's not just a thing. Okay? That will determine whether or not you get the call. I've had clients we've had on 200 key phrases across 4 different cities on page 1, position 1 through 3 of Google, and he was upset because his phone wouldn't ring. And every strategy session, I said, you guys don't have a system for capturing, collecting, promoting, and marketing, and optimizing reviews. And until you do that, it doesn't matter how much money you spend on anything. You're not going to get the business. You're doing great. Traffic is awesome. They don't convert. The second they look for the company, it's just not there. So we're in a time, Amazon, thank them, where people are moved unconsciously by those stars. And we need to figure it out. We need to make it happen. We need to not go through another season and miss out on the opportunities to come home with those stars. So I will show you how to do that. But now that we know this, how many of you have spent money on any of those advertising things to try and market your own business when you have your business owner hat on? Okay, so if you're going to do print, if you're going to do TV, if you're going to do radio, there are ways to do it and make it successful. As long as your number one goal is drive them to a landing page, capture their email address so you can email market them the rest of the time and you don't have to do that again, you're golden. Okay? So we do a lot of print marketing for people only to help them take that database that's all paper or the database they just bought, send out a campaign, something with a giveaway or promotion. We give away koozies, thermostats, everything. Drive them to a landing page in order to enter to win. They fill in their information. Boom, they're in your email list. From now on, you don't have to buy the list. You don't have to deal with the paper. You don't have to deal with the print, stamps, and everything else. Fair? All right. Everything I tell you is going to help you save money, save time, and make more money. Feeling versus reality. 4 years ago, I stood on stage and I would tell everybody, how many of you have a smartphone? There's probably more people with no underwear than a smartphone, right? And now you all have one. Google made a requirement and said, your website has to be responsive. That is a coding structure. It's not a label. It means the website has to be coded so that it is mobile responsive. Not HTML5, not shrink down, none of that. How many of you went to a website and it shrinks to real tiny and then you got to stretch it? Irritating. And then you finally get to the phone number and you tap it, nothing. That's frustrating for people. They're done. Everything we do wrong is an exit door. So we're going to try and eliminate as many exit doors as we can so we can keep people planted, get an opportunity to take them from suspect to prospect to customer. Fair? 2 years ago, I started, mine's dead. It's in my handbag. I started talking about wearable devices. You can watch Amazon trends and sales and see what people buy. Hold it up. I love you guys. Okay? That's gonna change. That's gonna change. You don't have a watch fetish? My husband has a watch fetish and he has one of those, so every time
I've got a whole case of them on my shelf. That's all I wear.
same with him. Every time he looks at one, he's like, that watch is hot. I'm like, does it tell your weight? Does it tell me any steps? Can it give you directions? Can it call me? So we saved money with the watch budget. All right, so this last year at Christmas, these two items were the hottest sellers. What are they?
That's the
Echo, got that? Yeah, Echo Dot, which is a small version, and so Amazon Alexa, and its newest competitor, Google Home. Anybody have one? Yeah. Anybody have one? We bought both so we could see them fight. You guys are the first session in the entire month that doesn't own one. So these little devices, no, it's not the CIA, and if it is, who cares? I'm sure you're not doing anything that's that cool. However, these little devices do everything. They order a cab for us, they check on our flights, they buy our flight tickets for us, they order our groceries, they add things to our task list, they turn on our air conditioning, they turn it down. Last night we were laying in bed and I said, Alexa, turn off all the lights in the house. Well, I happened to be on my video camera watching all our kids go so, by themselves. That's so fun. So they do everything. But what they also do is allow somebody to say, Alexa, tell me the best AC repair company in Edmonds, Washington with the best reviews. That's a long query because the next statement is, oh, sounds good. Call the first one. That's not AC repair Edmonds, Washington, AC repair Dallas, Texas, AC repair Houston, Texas. That's a long statement. When we talk to things, we talk different than we type. That's a different query. So as we go through this and we start talking about content and how Google crawls content and your websites, Google is deaf and blind, reads Braille. If you sell a specific product in a specific city and a consumer searches for that product in that city, either typing, texting, or talking, if you don't have text on your site, Braille, that Google can crawl, you're not playing that game. That means you don't have that product for sale. Does that make sense? Awesome. We're going to make this so much easier than most people do. Okay, so fundamentals, simple. Website first. Don't go invest in pay-per-click when you have a website you know you shouldn't have online. Okay, and we've all done it. I have too. I don't know how I made it through the first 3 years of my business. I designed my own logo, my own website, my own everything. We made it, but okay, scarcely. Your website is technically you online. It's a representation of who you are as a company. Is it professional? Is it educational? Is it dressed nice? Is it well groomed? Is it easy to deal with? Is it quick? Everything you would want the best salesperson to have as a part of their presentation needs to be on that site. Needs to represent the same thing. Okay. Sometimes when we build them ourselves, we have this awful thing that starts with a P that gets in our way. Anybody guess? Pride. Pride and principle. All right, so it's got to be professional. Let's go the other route. All right, next is content. The least budgeted for item and most important item out of everything that you do marketing-wise. Everything you want to do to grow your business, it's content. Content comes in various forms. If I'm putting the content on my website, Braille, straight text. I have two audiences. One, I got to please a robot first who has some specific criteria and rules in order to get to a human. And then I got to make sense to a human and connect with them emotionally and make them convert. There's other kinds of content. That back there. Why am I recording this session? Where am I going to put it first? What has more traffic than my website? Significantly more. YouTube. Probably going to take that video, slice it into about 15 different segments, label them with some funny little thing that's actually what some people look for each little segment. Get 15 pieces of content, all labeled for some product or service that we sell, with a small snippet of this event that we'll record 4 times today. So I'll get 60 pieces of content on the internet I'm going to optimize them, hand them to my social media team, tell them I want them to schedule them. I want to send them out once every 71 days for the next 3 years because they'll be totally outdated by then. Drop it on my blog, have my blog guys optimize it with a piece of content. And in 2 years, this hour that I spent right now, or that 10 minutes that I spent right now during this very time, what is it doing for me? Any thoughts? It's making me money. It's selling while I'm doing something else. Because the hours I spent 3 years ago, they're selling for me right now. While I sleep, while I vacation, while I do something else. You ever woke up and said, I wish I could have more of me? I need like 3 copies. Right? In your company, would it make sense? Would it be beneficial to have 3 of you? Some of you are like, no. Okay, now I didn't say you're 3 of him. You can't make that call. Just about yourself. I'm just kidding. Okay? That's what that is. That's what content is. It is a permanent asset, as important as your voice, that will work for you forever, in perpetuity. And some places that you post content have compounding interest impacts on your business. Some don't. If you post it on social media, depending on how popular you are, they're and gone. If I post something on our fan page, I have 46,000 fans on there. It's gone in seconds, right? Because it just only lasts depending on your feed. If I post it on YouTube, the longer it's there, the more popular it is, the more views we get, the more conversions we get. If I post it on a blog post with content, because Google can't hear the video, I have a piece of content. The longer it sits there, the more links, backlinks, or the more popular that page becomes, the higher it ranks, and the more work it does for me while I do other things. So let me ask you this before I get to reviews and marketing. Why did you guys start your company? There's only 3 reasons. Everybody always says the same 3. Why did you get into business for yourself? I want more money. Perfect. Next. Time. Perfect. Next. Starts with an F. Mine are working right now, and as soon as you fill that paper out, they will enter it. I feel you on that. What is the F? Freedom. Do you feel like you have it? Okay, so I'm going to go with the reality check as an entrepreneur. It doesn't feel like that very often. It doesn't. It feels like you work a lot. And now you don't have one boss, you have every single customer that is now your boss. So, in order to create freedom, we need larger margins of time and money. Anything that is a duplicate process, inefficiency, redundancy, missed opportunity, we need to get those things knocked out, figure out how we can leverage technology to get it out of the way, because I promise you it's a lot less difficult than humans. People are difficult. They tend to add hours, right? Not always remove them. Okay, so that being said, we have to know where we want to go, otherwise our planning just can't plan, right? Reviews, that's next. Core fundamental. And then next, a fundamental is you got to have an engine. You got to eventually start marketing. So when it comes to a website, this is typically people's frustrations. They're all the same. I'm not getting any leads. My website's not ranked on Google. It's ugly. I don't own it. I can't log into it. I can't make changes to it. It's got old content on it. I don't own the content. I can't make changes. And now here's a big challenge. It's missing major functions of your business that are all exit doors. Is an air conditioning system a small expense to the average family? Okay, so wife's in the house having a conversation with husband going, I want to go to Hawaii. He's like, we need a new air conditioning system. She's like, I want to go to Hawaii. If you don't have apply for financing clear as day, she's out. She wants both. You guys need residual income in your business. Having one-time product with one-time income, that's hard because I promise you it's 70 sometimes, yes? The windows are down. You've got to have residual income and you've got to be building a list, a database, that when it's 70 and your phone's not ringing because it's not scorching hot or freezing cold, you have something to do that's a high leverage activity that converts your time to cash. Fair? All right. Financing agreement, sign up for maintenance. Maintenance plans are awesome because you can tell them we only do maintenance during spring and fall. Tell them you don't have to do maintenance. I have people all the time, they'll say, Jen, I'm not going to do that. I wouldn't want somebody deducting it off my credit card on a monthly basis. I'm like, you got a home phone? No. Got a cell phone? Do they take it automatically? Do you have water delivered? Do you have pest control? Do you have landscapers? Because everyone wants more time, more money, and more freedom. So do your customers. And for all the TMs in the room, so do your dealers. How can we all do something that's going to help people get what they want? So if you can make someone else's life easier by having a maintenance plan and throw in some cool things, you change the smoke alarm batteries. I've got guys that do smoke alarm batteries, they test their alarm system, they test the garage door, they do weird things, and they're HVAC guys, just to really make somebody's life easier. And they're permanent assets in that person's life. I got a message this morning. It came in from, we monitor our clients' leads. One, because we don't want them to expire and then not to get called, so we pester people. But two, because we like to hear what consumers say when they visit people's websites. And the lady said, I need to let you know I'm signed up for your maintenance plan. You're supposed to be deducting my check. I'm really upset because you haven't taken the money out of my account in 3 months, and I'm afraid I don't have the service. Like, she's like, take my money, please. I love that. I took a picture of it. It's on my phone. So everything is, in this world, this marketing world, okay, we have to do the right things in the right order at the right time. The challenge with that is all of you are in a different position. Some of you don't have a website. Some of you might have a website that's blah, you know you need it replaced. Some of you might have been collecting email addresses. Some of you might have bought a company and you got a file system full paper. Everyone's different. So when you come to these sessions, you got to realize that anything that I say, take it partially with a grain of salt, because the only way I can truly advise you, I got to know where you are in order to give you directions where you want to go. Right? So when salespeople come in and they're selling you things, widgets, sign up for Yodel, sign up for Yext, sign up for... Slow down. You guys have massive targets on your back. There has to be a logic in the way these things are put in place. So we'll go to websites, and we'll address that logic real quick. Has anyone ever hired Bob, the guy, just the guy, to do your website? Okay. So women don't give birth to these personality styles in one human. And you can't get a website done properly without these personality and a few I just left off styles building that website. They're not birthed the same. A designer, they go to art school, they work in Photoshop, they're creative, they dress nice, they have real friends. Their house looks nice, it's decorated. Right? A developer, totally different. The garage is actually a functional space of the house, not for cars. Right? Friday night, you're like, what are you doing? Hanging out with friends. You're like, where are they? Oh, AK-47, he's right there. It's online. Hey, ripped jeans, Heineken, techno, whatever it is. They're different. Their screen looks like the Matrix, and that's fun. They actually see real things in that. An engineer, anybody know an engineer? What are they like? Dry, methodical, researching, time-consuming. Are they going to give you an estimate? Are they going to give you a guess? They're going to give you their personal opinion? No. They cover data, facts, right? And a writer, for you guys, it's hard. You guys don't volunteer to write your own content, especially to web people. Do them a favor and say, I'm going to commit to writing it, and I'm not going to write it, and you're going to have nothing, and my site's going to sit in production for like a year. We learned really early. I would never ask you for a piece of content, even an About Us page, because that's hard. So that's not your world. And I'll tell you, finding a writer, that's hard too. It's taken us years. So I've made lots of mistakes in that too. The writer has to know how to write for Google. They got to know how to write for your consumer base, and they're very different. Someone who's buying a house and an inspector says, you know, the system's bunk, but I'm not going to mark it on your inspection, but you need to get it fixed. That's a very different buyer than the woman who's uncomfortable because her toes are cold or her nose is cold in her bedroom or her living room every day, or her husband's snoring his tail off because he's got sleep apnea, or the kids have allergies. They're all different. Some are emergencies, some aren't. They have to know a lot. So it's taken us a long time to get there. But as I said, no content, no go, no game. You're not even playing the game. So these people, if you talk to any one of them, they're right. And they have to have a coach, someone like us that comes in and go, hold your horses. Okay, let's duke this out. So if you hire a designer, it's going to be pretty and not have a brain. If you hire a developer, it's going to be very functional and be ugly as sin. If you hire an engineer, you're not getting anything done. You're not going to have a website. Same thing with the writer. They don't come in one body. So when somebody goes to your website, you have a matter of seconds to show them who you are, what you do, where you do it, how to reach you, how to reach you, how to reach you, are you transparent, and what do other people think of you? That's your list. Without moving. So I just took a picture. You want? Can we get out of this PowerPoint and just go to the internet? Because I don't like PowerPoints very much. All right, so I'll just go to that one since I have it here. Well, let me pull up a handful. Okay. So I'm going to pull up a handful of sites. We'll see how well my internet works in here. Bouncing all over. It's taking long. Okay. So when I get here, you guys are selling like a $16,000 piece of equipment. I don't know how much you charge. I know I got a quote for $22,000. Okay. They want high-tech equipment. They want high-tech thermostats. They want to be able to function from their phone. The website has to look as professional as the high-tech that they want. Okay, as professional. Don't have to overdo it, but it's got to be professional. When you get here, everything is about different personality styles. Tell me this. You guys deal with a lot of women, right? Do women care how much you know or how much you care first?
Sure.
Oh, yeah. So if I land on a site and bam, equipment, they're like, Like, it doesn't resonate with them. They have an issue. It's a personal issue. They have a feeling about it. They want you to fix that, right? Resolve that issue. So it doesn't have to be all equipment, but it does have to be clear. And remember, you've got different business models and different products, different times of the year. Last thing you want to do is say services. Confuses consumers. Confuses Google worse. Or merge heating and cooling on the same page as if it's the same months. It's not even the same time of year. Okay? When someone gets here, you guys have a series. You have two main products. Am I fair to say that depending on where you are, I have heaters and furnaces in this room, and I have air conditioners? Okay, we'll just start there. Yes, plumbing, electrical, all the other stuff, great. Those two, consumers look for those two things differently. So for air conditioning, they will look for AC repair, AC service, AC installation, AC maintenance, AC replacement, AC tune-up, AC warranty, AC costs. For the other version, a different group of them, they will look for air conditioner repair, air conditioner service, air conditioner replacement, air conditioner installation, air conditioner maintenance, air conditioner tune-up. I'll leave it there. There's another group that looks for air conditioning service, air conditioning repair, air conditioning installation, and so forth. There is not a group that I've found other than you guys that use cooling repair, cooling service. Big mistake on lots and lots and lots of HVAC sites. That's not consumers looking for that. That's an industry term. Consumers buy air conditioners. That's what they know. They don't buy coolers. That's what they put on their boat. Okay? So it's different. We have to be careful. That's an exit door. Heater, same thing. Depending on where you are, any California, well, Florida, you have the same thing too. California, same way. Melting pot areas, even Dallas. It's not furnace or heater, it's both. In Washington, it's a heater. No one has furnaces. That's for old people. It's like Facebook for kids. It's for old people. I mean, that's how they think. So every place in the United States is slightly different, so it may be one version or the other. All right. Each one of these pages is a different piece of paper. So remember, I got to please Google before I even get a chance to present to a customer. How many of you have seen Bruce Almighty? Okay, remember God's in this warehouse, and he's standing in the warehouse, and then he walks in, and he was like, anything you've ever thought, anything you've ever said, anything you've ever done is in this drawer. And the file drawer goes all the way across the whole thing. You remember that? All right. So every page on your website, all it is a piece of paper. Think of it like your filing cabinet. So go back to that movie and that moment every time you do a search. Okay, when you put something in a filing cabinet, a real piece of paper, and you know you need to find it later, what's important? How you file it, the labeling, right? And you might have a couple different filing mechanisms on it. You might have a green hanging folder and a manila envelope and then paper, right? But if I put something with a generic term somewhere in a generic envelope, are you ever going to find it? Okay, that's all Google is. It's a giant filing cabinet, and your website is filled with pieces of paper. The more pieces of paper you have about a particular topic in a particular area, the more of an expert you are, the more real estate you own in that drawer. So if I have AC repair, start throwing out cities, AC repair in Dallas, and then I have how to choose an air conditioner repair company in Dallas, and then I have best AC repair company in Dallas. Now I got 3 pieces of paper, right? And I'm added in my library. And I have top 10 things to avoid when hiring an air conditioner repair company in Dallas. Okay, and I can keep going. Okay, I'll have best Goodman air conditioning repair company in Dallas, because they look by brand as well. Sometimes they think they have a Nest. So, have you ever heard anybody say they have a Nest air conditioner? We see them on the forums. They'll say, what kind of system do you have? And they'll say Nest. I'm like, okay. So, we see a lot of lead forms come in. All right, now, same thing. In here, I can't have 300 AC repair blank, 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 blank. So you have to have 3 forms of content on there. You have your pages. Your pages are for your primaries. AC repair, AC service, installation, maintenance, tune-up, and so forth. And they can only focus on 1 or 2 locations, and it should be the location of your physical office, the one you have a Google business listing on, which we'll come back to. In addition to that, you got to have a blog. So a blog allows you to add additional content to your site and doesn't clutter up your menu, but it puts more pages in that drawer. So, air conditioner repair, Westchester, PA. Top 3 reasons to get your furnace maintenance done. Get your heating, so forth. You see all these. These are pages, 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 pages. We're constantly putting pages in that drawer. Make sense? Okay. In addition to that, there are cities you want to get into. Having city pages, let's see if I can get one with a ton of them. These guys are going to town. Okay, if I want to get found in a city, I got to have a page about the city, focused on my primary services. I also need reviews, so I'm going to show you the easiest way to make this happen. This is a 2-for-1. This will make this really easy. Okay. If you don't have city pages on your site that are clickable, linkable, and optimized properly, and you'll notice the label on this is Minneapolis, Minnesota, air conditioning, heating, air duct, and so forth. Really, the only thing that matters is Minneapolis, air conditioning, and heating in this scenario. The rest is excess, too much. So this client, the way they get the content, you're either paying for it, you're writing, or you're getting it. Okay, this is the greatest part about this. We have an app. You install it on your phone. Every time you go on a job, you keep your process the same. Every time you go on a job this summer, as soon as you get on the job, you check in. And check-in is just like Facebook. You tap a little button on your phone. Mike has one on his phone. He can show you. And the pin puts it on the map, and you say, installing a new air conditioning system. And if you're young, you're going to be like, right, selfie picture or something. And you post it, you know. They're good at that. Make them get everybody involved. Okay, you post it. As soon as you get done with the job, you're going over the thermostat, teaching them how to program it, and you go, are you happy with everything? Do you guys ask them if they're happy now? Awesome. The only difference is you probably leave and ask for the review after you're gone. No? Do you get the review while you're there? Okay. Okay, so, but they got to log into Google and all, yeah. So we'll make it easy. While you're there, are you happy? Yes. If you're not happy, I have a card for you. There's a number on it. Call it. It's our hotline. You can leave it. Give them a home. Okay? This goes directly to the ownership. I don't know them, but they always call back. Okay? If they are happy, can I send you a text message real quick? Would you be willing to leave me a review? Because if I go back, my front desk lady will kill me if I don't come back with a review. And then you look them right in the eyes. And they'll go, okay. You send them a text message right then. They pull their phone out, stay with them. And then they're like, oh, okay, that was easy. They click the link and you're like, yeah, click that star, that star, that star, and leave a love note. And they're like, okay. Said, boom, done. What we do We get all those review notifications in the check-in, and every time one of our dealers goes to a new city, we build them a new page, write a snippet of content, and every time they get a check-in or a review, they have new content going to their site, which shows Google that you are relevant, current, and liked. And you didn't have to pay for the content, and you get the reviews. When we take those reviews in, we look to see there's logic. Do I need those reviews on your Google business listing page? Do I need the reviews on Yelp because you got two and they're bad? I got to get the number from 1.2 to a 4.5 for it not to be harmful? Or do I need them on your website because you own this property and this is the one thing that will make your money and this is the one thing that will increase in value the longer you have it? And actually, if your plans are to sail off into the sunset, it will make you more money if this thing is done right. It's part of what brokers buy, other companies buy. Does that make sense? Okay, easy, easy, easy. I have content for my service areas. I'm generating reviews. I'm getting feedback. You can manage everything from back office. If you forget, your receptionist can be looking at it and she can go, you just left the house. You just left the house. Where's my review? Okay. She texts you. She's like, I'll take care of it this one time, but you better come home tomorrow with one. You got to get real at your office. All right. And every single dealer that told me that their technicians and their installers are stubborn and not going to change, not one of them has allowed me to do a presentation and them not do what we need to do. Every one of them is doing it. Every one of them. And they're not having to pay them to do it. Little things. Okay. Use the younger ones because they feel less trusted, less valuable because they don't have as much experience and they're new. Give them that role. Make it their thing. They know it well. Use them for that. They're good at it. They're powerful. They can bring massive amounts of new business into the company. That's a great role for them. In addition to that, publicly reward your people by saying, if you're going to do a competition, go on their Facebook page and say, Matt, outstanding. You got 232 check-ins this month, 115 reviews for the year, whatever. You're outstanding. They love that. People love personal praise, and especially in front of their families. Make sense? Little things. All right. So you guys have I'm just going to stay on websites for a minute. You guys have the opportunity to seriously kick some tail right now. There is a competitive advantage, and they come and go. This one is here right now. We literally had websites that we built, went live with, and called our clients. We're like, we need to redo it. They're like, yeah, you just went live 2 months ago. I'm like, yeah, let me show you. And they're like, oh, okay. Here's the thing. Google made over 100 massive changes in its algorithm last year. I believe a handful of the phones and the watches and the Alexas all came out with new technology requirements. We are dealing with massive, rapid technology changes. Your sites have to adjust with them. So technically, the average website that was built yesterday is out of date in 30 days. And the longer that it stays out of date, the worse it gets and the more that it underperforms. So if you're investing in marketing on a site that becomes really old, you're just burning through cash, right? Because the application, the thing is broke. It doesn't work. So in your world, the longest you want to go without having your website redesigned and redeveloped is 2 years. 1 year is perfect. That'll get you by. That's fine. There's nothing too major. And if there's a major change, your company needs to tell you. Major change, major shift. I think we need to move. It's either a requirement or a major competitive advantage like this one. Okay? And just roll with it. In our world, people don't do websites as projects. It's not a one-time project. It's a line item on their budget where they're constantly evolving their website. They're constantly adding new content, changing graphics, designs. I mean, that's normal. But in the contractor world, it tends to be like a brochure because historically there's certain advertising things that have happened in the contractor industry and it's flooding into the internet and it doesn't work the same. So that being said, if I want to look at a site and see what Google sees, all you do is you put site : no spaces, and then the URL and hit enter. So what Google's going to tell you is I see 420 indexable pages. Those are the ones that have an open door. They're allowed to be crawled. If you ever do this and it pops up and says 2 or 1 and you know you have more than one page website, that means your website is turned off for Google. there is a little file called a robots.txt file. It's the sign that says, we're open, come on in. And when they get in, it says, oh, and here's the map for the rooms you can crawl or you can go into. That's a site map. Every website has to have a robots file and a site map. If you don't have either one of those, you don't have a site on the internet. You can see it, but no one else can. Make sense? Okay. By the way, all these things I'm telling you, these reports and all that, if you fill that sheet of paper out, we'll run all these reports for you, and you'll walk out with clarity. Just saying. A little midway. Okay, so what do you notice about this website? How it's listed. This is all the same site. It's the one we were just looking at a minute ago. What's different about what you see on the internet? What is it called? Come on, ladies, say it. What are these called? Bling. Come on, bring the bling. That's bling. That's 525 carats of bling. You got to resonate with something so it sticks. Okay? We're going to stick to bling. Google came out with a new coding structure called schema. So I'm not going to bore you and get too nerdy on you, but they came out with schema for HVAC, which gives us the ability to take a complete snapshot of every review you've ever had anywhere, come up with a cumulative number, and to plaster it so that it displays on your search. Here's the difference. Okay, I'm just going to grab any page. I don't know which ones are going to rank, but we'll just grab one. I'll grab a couple since this is taking so long to load. Okay. So all I'm doing, I'm grabbing the green hanging folder label. That's what this is. Green hanging folder label. This right here, that's your manila envelope. Your H1 or header 1, that's your heading on the title, on your page or piece of paper. The three need to be congruent. If one says services, the other one says air conditioning, and the other one says, we cool you. Huh? Think about it like a human having to file that so someone can find that later. Okay. All right, so let me grab this one. So I'm grabbing the label. That's all I'm getting. It's just the label. We'll just go do a random search because I'm just find something. All right, so the first label I grabbed was furnace, air conditioner warranty. I'm going to scroll down past the ads, and the first listing I'm going to get is their site. What stands out to you if you were looking at this page? Probably unconsciously. What is it? Woo! Yes. That bling is changing the name of the game right now. Because it used to be that if you were on a organic, not pay-per-click, not the ads above, but if you were in an organic spot and you were in position number 1, you got 18% of the conversions. Position 2 got 10, position 3 got 7, position 4 got 5, and then it went 3, 1, 1, 1, nada on page 2. We have dealers that are just getting started, so we've only gotten them into the top 10. They're sitting in a position 8, and their conversion rates are significantly higher than more competitive phrases just because of the bling. Consumers' eyes are just gravitating there, which is really cool because it's giving you an opportunity to make money on that page before normally I would tell you you're not going to make a penny on that page until it's in the top 3. You're going to spend the money however many months, and I'll show you how to calculate that. You need to be okay with the fact you're going to invest in that until it gets to the top 3, and then you will start to see your phone ring. And you got to be okay with that going into it, right? So here's the math, so you know how that works. In this drawer, okay, go back to the movie, big file, whoop, flies across the entire thing. There are 636,000 pages in that drawer, right? In order to make money, with those organic pages, in order to make money, I used to say, you have to be in the top 3. For our company, our average is it takes us 30 days per 100,000 pages. So how many months is that for that? So if you start investing that today, it's going to be 6 months. So now we get into math and seasons. If you want to get found in air conditioning season, and your website's not designed to be able to do that right now, depending on where you are. Florida, you guys, what's this, like 80 now, isn't it? You're in 90. Whew, you're already there. But you have a longer season. Hey, Texas, you have a longer season. Arkansas? What's the weather right now? It's hot right now? And when's it start to cool down? Okay. Okay. So I live in Seattle, so we're not there yet. I have time. I could build a website, optimize it, and be ready for summer. Either one. That's easier to deal with than straight 70 for 3 months. Okay. So math is, because now it's money, right? In this world, it's easy to predict. It's not a crapshoot. You're not buying a list and I'm praying phone's gonna ring, right? Here, it's very strategic. I sell air conditioning. I make my highest profits off of air conditioning installation and replacement. But I get the majority of air conditioning replacement calls because of repair and service, right? I'm the most profitable, so if it's 70 degrees, I don't mind driving 70 miles. And I'm just giving you what I would say. You guys can choose your own version. I don't mind driving 70 miles, and I'll go do some silly stuff like put in a generator where I don't make any money, or do some warranty work where I don't make any money, or some Home Depot work, whatever it is, or new construction. I might do that in 70-degree weather. But if it's hot, I want close. I want the highest profit items in the closest cities. Okay, so here's the process. A, website's got to be on point. B, your local listings, which I'll show you, they got to be on point. You can't be all over the board, wrong phone numbers, addresses, wrong company names all over, all that stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff that unfortunately you have to spend money on that is necessary evils. Get it done, get it out of the way, call it a day. It's not going to make you money, but it's going to prevent you from spending it and only getting 60 cents on the dollar. Does that make sense? Okay. Same thing with social media in the beginning. It's a necessary evil. You gotta do it. You can't look like you closed 4 months ago or 4 years ago. It's the last time you posted. Same thing with the reviews. There's a handful of things you have to do. Get them done, get them out of the way. Then, website, depending on the size of a website, it's going to take you 60 days to get it done. So if you started tomorrow, you're 60 days out. We have to find a phrase that's going to get you air conditioning installation, air conditioning service, air conditioning repair in the city you're physically in that we can get ranked before your summer ends to make sure you have any kind of ROI, because you're going to spend the money until you get there. Because if you are number 600,000 out of 633,000, there's nothing there, right? If you're paying for SEO and you don't have a page on your site with exactly that content on there, you're burning money. No one wants to buy content, and I get that. But if you want to make it and you want to get in that drawer, think of the paper. You got to have the paper in there. There's no way. So as you look through these, so this one is furnace installation, Minneapolis, St. Paul. I have to see if he's listed on here. He's not on page 1 for that. Let's scroll to page 2, see if he's popping in. Oh, that's the second site we have for him. There it is. So that page is not ranking. It's not ranking for one of two things, okay? 1, because the content went up recently. 2, because he doesn't have a link building plan. So just if anybody could put a page on their website and get to page 1 of Google, it's mathematically impossible, right? Because there's only one spot of position number 1 for that phrase. So the way you have to get your paper in that drawer from the back of the drawer to the front of the drawer, we have to make it popular. Popularity comes from link building, which is, we write articles, we post them on third-party sites. In the article, there's a link to that key phrase, and it goes to that page. The more of those you have, the more Google says, oh, you have great friends and they love you. We take that page, we send it to your social media sites, and hopefully people like it and share it and comment on it. That's good stuff. We send it to your local listings. That's good stuff. That's how we make pages popular. So we have to make those pages popular in a certain amount of time. And if that's the case, you're golden. So let's look at this one. This is odd. So we have furnace, AC, rebates, specials, discounts, and I know what they're doing with this. So no one's going to search for that long version, right? But they wanted to use one page of content and see if they could get it ranked for 5 things, and I can tell. They're on page 1, position 1. 2 minutes? Dang. So I'm going to get rid of AC. See where they rank? Page 1, position 1. Let's get rid of rebates. We just did the same thing with tax credits. Right now, high efficiency systems, tax credits. What time of the year is it, entrepreneurs? It's tax time. Everybody should be talking about that. All right. So page 1, position 1. This is when you get bold. When you're doing a lot of things right, in the beginning, It's 1-for-1. You got to pay for 1 page of content, 1 phrase, 1 city. The longer you stick to it, you don't quit, you don't bounce around, have new people building your website and losing all your rankings, all the junk that normally happens where companies start over and over like Groundhog's Day. If you stick to it, 3 years from now, it's game on. Because now 1 phrase, we can get you ranked for 5 different versions of it or in 5 different locations because your website's more powerful. How many of you are in small towns? Okay. Small towns, even better. This guy, he's been with us for 10 years. So he called us up and asked us to pop some guy's pink tires. He doesn't like this truck, and some friend, family who got into business in his neighborhood doing the same thing. We're not going to pop his tires, but we can move them. So oil to gas conversions, Poughkeepsie, this is his thing. He's in New Jersey, New York. This is a big, 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 big business for him. So he's page 1 position. He's got an ad. He also owns position 1, position 2, position 3. We'll go to Fishkill. At 282,000, he's position 1, 2, and 3. Go to Beacon.
Are those other companies in this area? Is that what you're saying?
This is only him. This is just our client. So he owns, in this one, this is cool. He owns position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we threw in our own website to get 6 and 7 to see if we could bump the rest of them off. Okay, so if you're in a small town, that's doable. If you have a unique product, any Californians in here? One of my California guys, he's like, I could sell earthquake shut-off valves. I was like, you can turn off earthquakes. So there's one product, no one's going after it. He can kill it. Because even in a big town, because no one's going after that particular thing. All he's got to do is get into the house, ask great questions, and set himself up for future sales for further equipment, have an organized database, and go back to him, not leave him. Don't let him sit in a piece of paper, a closed contract, or QuickBooks. Make sense? Okay. I did not cover even close to all the slides. Is this helpful at least? Okay, we need like 13 more hours. Here's what I would recommend. 2 things. 1, fill out the sheet of paper. We'll run a ton of reports for you. We'll do a strategy session with you. We're educators and coaches. We're not salespeople. 2, Mike and I have spoke at probably 60 events in the last 3 months, and we have 3,000 people that have filled out those half sheet of paper, so I have to tell you. So what we did for this one, which we've never done before, and this is not a as seen on TV, we did do an event-only option for startups. This is typically going to be a company that doesn't have a website, has a 5-page website, and knows that it needs to, implode. It's event-only. You don't even need to fill out the form. If you do that, then you're in front of the line. Otherwise, this is what's going to happen. We can run the reports, do the strategy session. Right now, because of the volume of people, at best, we can start on websites, get you through the season, and get moving on marketing strategies as the seasons turn. Just from a pure logistics standpoint. So you guys can help us by saying, I really want to talk to you, like scribble on it, scratch on it, write a big smiley face, write us a love note, something. Or I just want my reports. You can write that on there. Or you can say, let's talk after the season. Either one. But it'll help us prioritize because I don't want to miss anybody that we need to meet with. And we're here all the way till Friday. So you can always come talk to us at the table as well. Cool? You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. How you doing? You good?